Disclaimer. My videos are meant for a more mature audience, mostly because I usually discuss complex topics that older people would just understand better, and because my videos include mild swearing. Enjoy. I know in my last video I said I'd probably make a Good Omens video next, but like I said, no promises. And I honestly don't want to make a Good Omens video, because there's a bunch of people who have already said what I would have said. Anyway, this video is on something that I have been thinking about for a while. The fact that Rose Quartz and Sun Wukong are basically two sides of the same coin. Just in case some of the people who clicked on this haven't seen all of Steven Universe, this video is going to contain major spoilers. As in, like, the big twist type of spoilers. And it will also sort of contain Monkey Kid spoilers, but definitely not as major as the Rose Quartz ones. You have been warned. So I'm gonna format this video in the classic video essay way, by talking about the two characters individually first and then comparing them. From a diamond to a rose. Rose Quartz was a powerful gem who started a rebellion against her own kind because she fell in love with the life on Earth. The war ended and she was able to live peacefully on Earth with her gem friends who survived. Then, a few thousand years later, she met Greg, a human who taught her something that she had never realized until him. Humans have complex feelings just like gems. And that is the reason why she fell in love and decided to create a human life of her own with Greg. That's all we knew of her before we found out all the shit she did beforehand. Which is why Rose Quartz was such a perfectly morally gray good person. From a monkey to a sage. Sun Wukong is a naturally skilled sage who had defeated a plethora of evil demons. He had sealed ones like the Lady Bone Demon away so that she wouldn't cause any more havoc. Plus others like the Demon Bull King so he couldn't enact his evil plans. Sun Wukong loved the outdoors and relaxing in the sun. Then he met MK, a random kid who was the only other person able to hold the magic staff. MK seemed to be just as naturally skilled at sage powers as Wukong was. A powerful sage. That's how we saw Wukong before learning about all the shit he did in the past. That's why he's such a perfectly morally gray good person. Similarities. Now, let's talk about the similarities. They both started out as sort of brats that did a lot of bad shit. Pink Diamond was basically a selfish little girl who wasn't taken seriously and would throw tantrums left and right. She was, ironically, the most powerful diamond. One of those tantrums accidentally scarred someone she loved, her first pearl, aka volleyball. Sun Wukong would throw tantrums as well, as far as I know. He would basically kill someone if they just looked at him the wrong way. He did something terrible to someone he loved as well. He killed Macaque.
How could White be so careless?
Oh no, Pearl, you've got it all wrong. Pink did this.
What did you say?
Pearl, no!
It's a funny story, really. Once, Pink got tired of asking Yellow and Blue for her own colony, so she went straight to White. Of course, White told her she wasn't fit to run one, and well, that set her off.
Set her off? What are you talking about?
You remember how she was, with her destructive powers throwing tantrums?
He was also a lot more powerful than some celestial beings that had been around way longer, like Pink with the diamonds. I've only watched the summary videos by Overly Sarcastic Productions because I don't really have the time to do a deep dive into Journey to the West. But I mean, this video is more focused on the Lego version of him. Another similarity is how they were born. Both of them were never babies. They just burst into existence already knowing what they're supposed to do. Well, Pink more so than Wukong. They also both learned over the thousands of years how to be a better person. Pink learned to respect life and to not have destructive tantrums. She became Rose Quartz and left her old life behind. That's not the only thing she left behind. Sun Wukong was forced to work under Tang San Zeng, whatever. He was forced to work under San Zeng's command, which turned out to be good for him because he was punished every time he recklessly killed someone, even if they were a bad person. They also both have a person that inherited their powers. Well, MK didn't really inherit the powers, he just has the same powers. We don't really know about that yet. Both Steven and MK had the pressure of having to live up to godlike figures. Differences. Rose Quartz is dead, and Sun Wukong is alive. The biggest difference between the two is that one is able to apologize and redeem themselves, while the other never got the chance to do so, leaving her never able to be forgiven for her actions and unable to give an explanation. That's what makes Rose's story so tragic, is that her legacy and reputation was completely demolished. The characters treat her like she's some disgusting monster and just completely ignore all the good she's done. Alexander Hamilton cheated on Eliza for a long time, yet we still praise him. I'll talk more on the Rose and Spinel situation in the comments. In Season 4 of LEGO Monkey Kid, Sun Wukong was forced to relive his memories and basically was slapped with a big "humble yourself" sticker. And he also learned the power of self-reflection. A power that MK had learned way before him. But you could see just how guilty Wukong felt about how he treated Macaque and how he betrayed the Brotherhood. Which wasn't entirely his fault, but we still don't know the full story, so we'll wait for Season 5. Another difference is that Rose's life started out with abuse from the diamonds, and then transitioned to her being free from that nightmare, while Wukong's life started off free and dandy, but then transitioned to abuse from Tripitaka. Although most of the time, in his case, he kinda deserved it. But there were a few times where Wukong kept on trying to warn the group about some danger ahead, and they straight up just didn't believe him, and he got punished for it. MK had a role model to tell him to not make the same mistakes he did, while Steven's role model died as he was born. Steven accidentally made Pink Pearl's scar worse. And I guess MK sort of revealed Macaque's scar. Sorry if this is like an abrupt ending, but I didn't really have anything more to say, so if I missed anything, say it in the comments. That was my analysis on the strong similarities between Rose Quartz and Sun Wukong. Even Steven and MK both have multiple parental figures in their life. And they both have a female best friend, so really it's just the series that are similar in general. But anyway, have a good rest of your night. But in case it's not night, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Toodaloodles. Plus others like Demon Bull King, so he couldn't... They also broke...